Welcome back, everybody, on today's episode of the Unscripted Podcast. Today, I'm going to be talking about none other than my top 10 favorite UFC fighters. I have some honorable mentions as well. I have 10 UFC fighters. These are my favorite fighters. I'm going to explain why they're my favorite fighters. You guys get to know a little bit about me, a little bit about my favorite fighters, who I like, who I dislike. I guess you won't know who I dislike. I mean, I could tell you my least favorite fighters at some point, but it's something fun. It's something entertaining. I don't try to do fighting every episode, so if you're new here, I don't do fighting every episode, but I thought I would throw something a little bit fun, give you guys something. I'll probably do some NFL videos coming up because the NFL is going to be running hot here soon. I have more planned ideas as well, but I thought this was a nice little fun video for you guys. So starting off my number 10 list, I have Ethan Ewing. Ethan Ewing to me is what JDM should have been. JDM would have been on my list. JDM would have been very high on my list a year ago. Now he's dropped down. He would be an honorable mention. But Ethan Ewing does everything JDM does it at a lower weight class. He doesn't switch stances much, but Ethan Ewing is so technical with his boxing, his approach, everything he does. He's so fun. He's only has 2 UFC fights. He's beaten Malcolm Wellmaker. He beat Malcolm Wellmaker, and he beat Rafael Estevan in his last fight, which was super. Like, he is just one of these fighters that he's super fun to watch because of how technical he is. It's not like he brawls. It's not like he's a major brawler and he's taking a ton of damage. But it's like everything he does is so effortless. Like the way he was setting up Estevan, undefeated, was setting him up was a thing of beauty. I'm going to have to go back and rewatch that fight another time. I think I've seen it about 2 or 3 times. And he is just so flawless. And I'm waiting. Like, being a UFC fan, it's different than like the NFL in a way. It's different than any other sport because I'm waiting for an Ethan Ewing fight announcement. I've been waiting. He was supposed to be on the McGregor card. Unfortunately, he got hurt. I'm hearing reports that he might fight Ilia Toporia's brother, Alexander Topuria, which would be a super duper high level technical fight. Probably one of the most technical fights of unranked fighters maybe ever. I mean, Ethan Ewing, in my eyes, is going to be a champion at some point. I don't think it's an if, I think it's a when. Again, if you want to go see somebody that throws effort combinations, it's not like he throws a lot of volume too. I remember that Estevan fight. It was a lot of patience. He was patient. He was in his guard. He moves his head. He's got a big head. So he's moving his head. He's slipping. He's rolling. He even does he puts the high guard on a takedown defense like JDM does. He's just so freaking fun to watch. Like, I can't even really describe how he fights, but he uses his guard well. His head movement's a thing of beauty, and the way he's like marches you down, but just like will feint, and then he finds it. He'll throw a jab right hand. I mean, he was hitting Estevan with shots in that fight that were just insane. I was trying to remember. I remember him. He would like feint, and it would be an effortless right hand. He would land it, boom, and Estevan would go jelly legged. And he mixes up combinations well. I love a fighter that will go from like the body to the head, to the head to the body. Mixes it up well. Good calf kick. He's throwing a knees in there as well. Just the movement, everything he does is so fun. The takedown defense is there as well to where he can just defend anything. I would almost compare him similarly to an American version of Peter Yan. He said that his 2 favorite fighters, I believe, are Topuria and Yan as well. So he just goes out there, puts on a scrap every time. He's so technical. He's so fun to watch. It's precision, it's accuracy, and he does it with a really high guard, and he moves well. And it's like so effortless for him. It's just so fun to watch. It's not like, he's adjusting Gaethje where he's going toe to toe with everybody like that. It's like he will march you down, and he does it safe, and he does it tactical. Not that Gaethje doesn't, but he does it tactical, safe, head movement. He is so fun to watch. I highly recommend you guys look him up. You can watch the Malcolm Wellmaker fight. He went on there short notice, absolutely mauled him. It was close. It was a close fight, but he mauled him in a sense of where he was getting better at the exchanges, and it was close. But moving on up the card, if you're a casual UFC fan, you're going to know who Carlos Prates is. Carlos Prates, not only do I think is one of the best strikers, point blank, period, we've ever seen in the UFC, I think he's one of the most entertaining fighters in the UFC as of right now. What he did to Leon Edwards took Leon Edwards off of his feet. What he did to JDM was so impressive. He walked out there and made JDM not even look like he was comparable. And Prates does this thing where he gets in this flow state, the hands are low, he just rolls with punches, fires, and like he's landing spinning elbows. He's landing flush elbows like 12 to 6. Knees to the body, knees upstairs, head kicks upstairs, leg kicks. He threw literally every strike you can think of, other than maybe, I don't think he threw any like spinning wheel kicks or anything, against JDM. Like, he's so good everywhere on the feet. He's so powerful for the 170 weight class as well. He doesn't look like a super, powerful guy. He's super skinny, but he's so long. He keeps you at distance. The way he sets you up, I mean, what he did to Li Jingliang. He was just sticking that straight left out there, almost McGregor style, where he would just bang, float it out there. Perfect technique. Boom, rock. Li Jingliang. And Li Jingliang at that time has never been KO'd, and he's never even, I don't think he's ever fought since. Prates knocked him out disgustingly bad. Recommend that fight. Very fun to watch. He's just like an elite level Muay Thai fighter, and he, brought his style over. He's different than anybody you'll see. He's different than like a Khalil Rountree. He's different than a Rafael Fiziev or Fiziev. He is just so different than anybody out there. The way that he moves, the way that he strikes, the way that he flows. It's very Anderson Silva-esque. And he's just I feel like he's even more powerful. Like the way he's doing it, the way he's like taking Leon Edwards. Leon Edwards never KO'd off of his feet. JDM, was on an 18 fight win streak, lost to Makhachev. Went out there, has never been finished. It was a striking matchup. He could get on the inside, and Prates made it look like he didn't even belong. What he did to Charles Radke, I mean, he nuked out Neil Magny in the first round. Literally just grazed the temple. Magny was flatlined. He did lose to Ian Gary. Even in the 5th round, cracked Ian Gary, almost finished him. So it's like almost every fight, the Jeff Neal fight, the performances he's had, he is so fun to watch. And I just love that style. The style that he brings, this flow, low hands, and he like rolls. He rolls with you and then fires and uncorks combinations. I do like Jeff Neal as well. Jeff Neal could be an honorable mention. He's always puts on a fun scrap. He goes out there, and I remember seeing it live, like, ooh, that was kind of competitive. Jeff Neal was landing. Then I went and rewatched it. Like, Jeff Neal was barely landing the left straights, and Prates was kneeing him to the body. And it's the way that he cuts the angle too, almost like a Lomachenko style cut, where it's like he rolls, but he does it at 6'1" with like an 80-inch reach. Rolls, cuts, and then fires his combinations. If you want a striker to go look at that is super duper high level, go look at Carlos Prates. Go look at CP. He is the man. I would say if Ian Gary wins the title in this upcoming fight, which I think Makhachev's probably going to edge it out, but if he doesn't, that's a rematch just waiting there to happen. I think Prates has improved light years better. He doesn't just use the long guard anymore. He was using the long guard, Peter Yan style, except not as good, but I'm throwing jokes out there. I'm throwing niche UFC references. If you know, you know. But Prates has improved since then. His finishing ability, I feel like, has gone up. He's knocking out, and what I think is so impressive with him is he's knocking out the best fighters at 170, and he's doing it in style, and they're not even touching him. And they're strikers too. Like Leon Edwards had nothing for him, was trying to take him down even on the feet. Took Prates a minute, find the shot. JDM took him down, but other than that moment, he landed maybe a couple of shots on Prates. Other than that, Prates mauled him on the feet. And it's like, again, the knees he was landing step-in knees right on the chin of JDM, rocking him. He would come around the guard, 12 to 6 elbows. Just everything he does, his arsenal, like I said, my eyes, if we were doing a top 5 striker list which I could do. My opinion of who I think the top strikers are, I think Prates has to be mentioned on that list somewhere because he is that good. Moving on up to my number 8. No surprise here. One of the most entertaining fighters. If I was going to tell you one of the most entertaining fighters, I think you could consider Justin Gaethje. But Yuri Prohaska, man, every fight he's in is entertaining, minus the Ulberg fight. But what is there not to like about Yuri Prohaska? He goes out there, he puts on a fun scrap, and he does it at a high level. He like lets you punch him in the face until you're tired, and then he goes finishes you. Like the performance against Khalil Roundtree was sensational. The performance against Jamal Hill, where he's in the Matrix, he's slipping, firing the left, firing the lead hook. Everything Yuri Prohaska does, the Glover Teixeira fight, the Poatan fight as well. Both of those fights were extremely fun to watch. Yuri is fun to watch. He's one of the most entertaining fighters of all time. Old school too. I feel like he's got an old school personality to him where you would see like almost like similar to like maybe a Mirko Cro Cop or a Vanderlei Silva where I could see Yuri fighting in the Pride days. I could. I just could. He just has that presence about him. He's just cool. He's just a cool dude. Samurai. Unfortunately, the Carlos Prates loss, and the reason he's not a little bit higher is because of that loss, because of how much it broke my heart. You're getting docked a couple slots for that. I mean, there's no reason there's nothing else for me to even say about Yuri. Is like, you just have to go watch him. The way that this guy, like, if you think Justin Gaethje is bringing chaos to the cage, go watch Yuri Prohaska and come back to me. And I'm not dissing Justin Gaethje. Justin Gaethje always has a fun fight. You know what you're going to get out of him. But Yuri's throwing teeps, spinning elbows at a 205, at 205 pounds. He's throwing spinning elbows. Knocked Dominic Reyes out with a spinning elbow. And he's also about to get knocked out in almost every fight. Unless you knock him out like Pereira and Ulberg, other than that, if you don't knock him out or if you don't submit him, he's going to finish you. He finishes Glover in the 5th round, which was awesome. Finished Khalil in a comeback round. The Jamal Hill fight was he was shutting Jamal Hill out. Mainly, it was, Jamal Hill landed a few decent shots, but it was nothing major. It wasn't really that close. Go watch Yuri Prohaska. If you want to watch chaos in the cage personified, a big man throwing flying knees, spinning elbows, everything. He knocked out Volkan Ozdemir with like a crisp right hand from like the waist. Brought it up there, knocked him out. He knocked out Rakic with a right hand. I mean, he technically, I mean, the way that he moves his head, even the Jamal Hill fight, like every fight he has is entertaining, win or lose, except the Carlos Ulberg fight. Moving on up, I think this guy is on everybody's favorite fighter list, whether he's at 1, whether he's at 10, and that is Max Blessed Holloway. I don't know how you can hate Max Bless Holloway. If I'm sitting here telling you like who would be a top 10 striker of all time, my opinion, Holloway's there. Holloway's bag is insane. He can fight as He can fight as like a boxer. He can fight as a kickboxer. He can fight in either one of those stances. He can go out there like he did in the Poirier fight and throw a ton of kicks, even in the Gaethje fight. Or he can go out there and just kind of box with you like he did against Jose Aldo. Every fight he's in fun. Every fight Okay, let me slow it down here. Every fight he is in is super duper fun. Every fight he's in. Every fight he's in is super fun. The Arnold Allen fight was super technical, but it was fun. There was some fun exchanges, some fun scraps. And I'm going to come at you guys with a hot take. If you guys are a UFC fan, to me, I love seeing knockouts. That's the whole fun of the sport, seeing somebody get knocked out. But having somebody like Max Holloway where he doesn't knock everybody out, so you have to see his full package arsenal of what he can do inside that octagon. There's a fighter on here that doesn't get a ton of knockouts, but you get to see their full bag displayed. It's like, I know I can't knock you out, but I'm going to show you everything else in my bag to beat you. I don't need to just land one punch, and it could be lucky, could not be, but I'm going to show you everything I can do inside that octagon to show you how good I am. And that is Max Holloway and another guy on this list where it's not like he knocks everybody out. It's not like he knocks everybody out, but he is so fun to watch. The Calvin Kattar fight, he's in the matrix, he's slipping punches, he's firing punches, he's throwing head kicks, he's throwing spinning elbows, he's throwing knees, he's throwing everything at you. He doesn't seem to be as spontaneous as he is now, like with a lot of the spinning stuff, but unless it's the spinning wheel kick to the body that he's pulled off against Dustin Poirier, went to a scrap with him. It was a 4-1, but Dustin Poirier had his moments, and that's the other two, or the other Poirier fight. Even the Taporia fight was super fun while it lasted. Like, I feel like if you're a UFC fan, you like Max Holloway. Now, I don't know if you like him as much as maybe other fighters, but he's on my list for sure. I really enjoy watching him fight. He fluctuates, but he's got to be on that list. I've been a Holloway fan basically since I started watching the UFC. Moving on up the card, controversial pick here. I'm going to tell you 6 and I'm going to tell you 5 because they're interchangeable with me, and that's going to be Dricus du Plessis and Sean Strickland. Dricus du Plessis and Sean Strickland. I'm going to start with Dricus du Plessis because that's who I have at 6 and I have Strickland at 5. They're interchangeable to me. I love both of them. Well, I'm going to start with Dricus du Plessis. Dricus du Plessis, I've always liked him because he looks so bad. Like, I remember it was the build-up to the Whittaker. I hope he knocks Whittaker out because he is so goofy. I want to see how goofy this style can last. Like, who is going to be able to beat him? Other than Chimaev just holding him down for 25 minutes, nobody's been really had an answer on the feet for him. Kamaru Usman didn't have an answer on the feet for him. Sean Strickland didn't have an answer for the feet on him. Israel Adesanya didn't. He is just so fun to watch. He's so unorthodox. He's so goofy. And, after the Usman performance and the Strickland performance, I mean, he's getting better even technically. Like, the lead body kicks, the body kicks from him, the high-level IQ to fake the knees on Usman. If Usman shoots, I'm going to hit him with a knee. Just everything Dricus du Plessis does, he is just so fun to watch, and then he can take you down. Like in the Israel Adesanya fight, he can take you down. In the Sean Strickland fight, he can take you down. In the Darren Till fight, he took him down, I believe, for about 5 minutes of that round. Of the first round, took down Till and landed 60-3 strikes on him. Even in the Brunson fight, like, he looks so goofy, he looks so unorthodox, he looks tired, and he doesn't look like he should be winning, but he does, and that's why I like him so much. Then Sean Strickland, on the other hand, I've always loved the Philly shell style. I remember getting into boxing and MMA. I always loved that Philly shell style, and it's the way Strickland uses it, where he parries and he long guards you, or he'll just stick his hand up here. Like, he does he's very unorthodox as well. But it's so fun to watch because it's like, how is he not getting knocked out? Like, how his hands are here and he rolls and he ducks enough. Like, he moves his shoulders up and lets you just skip off the shoulder and graze you. Like, everything Strickland does is so fun to watch for me, and he has had stinkers. He's had stinker against the Paulo Costa fight. But in my mind, and the way that I look at him and the way that he fights is so fun to me because of the way that he just does everything. Because it's like, it shouldn't work. Same with Dricus du Plessis. You going like this and putting your hands away and you parrying and you swinging your arm around and the kicks are coming up, basically hitting you on the chin, and you're eating it like nothing's happened, is fun for me. It's fun to watch. It's like he shouldn't win. Like, somebody should be getting close to him, and he rotates and he moves his shoulders. And Dricus du Plessis and Sean Strickland are both some of the best middleweights of all time. I think they're both better than what Adesanya has done. I think they're better than Whittaker. I think the only one that they're really contender towards is Anderson Silva, and people aren't going to like that because I know people really like Anderson Silva, but I don't rate Anderson Silva as highly as some of the other fighters do. But Strickland, or not other fighters, as other people do, Strickland and du Plessis and they're fun. They're fun for me. I know Strickland jabs and teeps, but it's like, it shouldn't work. Like, a jab and a teep should not work against a Khamzat Chimaev, but it does. A jab and a teep should not work against Israel Adesanya, but it does. The only person that's really beaten him on the feet recently, even the Cannonier fight was pretty close, and in my opinion, it should have went to Strickland, is Dricus du Plessis. He's the only guy he has an even goofier style to beat the goofy style of Sean Strickland. So those are my 5 and 6. They can, both of them are interchangeable for me because I like them both the same. Dricus du Plessis, I've always enjoyed watching, and I've been a Sean Strickland fan before, like way back when. I remember I was interested in Sean Strickland, I think even before he fought Pereira, because he had that Philly show. He's got that unorthodox style, and he's fun to watch. He is. Like, it's not going to be like a Justin Gaethje where he's going to go to war. He says he's going to go to war, and it's a jab and a teep, but it's impressive to watch him utilize that skill set. And then even in the grappling, I mean, he used to take down Uriah Hall. Is it Hall? I almost said Faber. I think it's Uriah Hall. He was taking him down in their fight, and it's just, you're seeing the Philly shell, and it's not like how Floyd uses it, or like Mauricio Huffy uses it, or an Ilia Topuria uses it. He uses it in a way where he like extends his arms and parries and rotates, and it's this super goofy, unorthodox style that works. He's won the championship twice. Moving on up, this one's also, I would say, a little bit more niche than, it's not super because he's number 10 at the featherweight division, but I got Kevin Vallejos, man. This guy, I think, is going to be the world champion. He, to me, looks like his physique. He looks like a silverback gorilla. He looks like if they shrunk like a mini P.E.K.K.A. He is just big. He's got big shoulders, and the reason I'm describing that is because he's very similar to Poirier, but I can't even, his not lats, what is it? Lats are in the back. Oh, I'm blanking. Traps. His traps and shoulders are so huge that he's like able just to roll off with shots. I mean, what he did to Josh Emmett was freaking awesome. I've been a fan of him since he was close to the Topuria style, just because I like that style. It's like they're just using boxing, but they're beating everybody and knocking everybody out, and it's freaking fun to watch. But it's the way that Vallejos uses, the way that Vallejos moves, everything Vallejos does is super fun to watch, and he's different than Topuria because he does throw knees, he does throw elbows, he's got a little bit more in his game. He had a stinky performance early on, I think like about last year, like August or September, maybe July, where it was a close fight. He ended up taking his opponent down, and I was like, oh, maybe he's not going to be, nobody's knocked out Giga Chikadze. And I remember Bisping being like, oh, this is Vallejos, he's just sitting here, and he's not doing anything, and he's not doing this, he's not doing that. Vallejos then uncorks, overhand, spinning back fist, lands clean on the chin of Giga Chikadze, knocking him out. And then he goes out there against an old school Emmett, and I do want to address this, and people are like, that's not really that impressive. There were people picking Josh Emmett to knock out Kevin Vallejos. There were people out there, and I went back and listened to a lot of what people were saying, and they're like, I can see Emmett landing and knocking Vallejos out, but I'm going to pick Vallejos because he's younger. So a lot of people, even though it doesn't seem impressive, and it's not majorly impressive, but Emmett's a guy. If Vallejos didn't go out there and didn't do Emmett in that style and took him 5 rounds and he didn't look good, then it would be like Vallejos a bum. Vallejos isn't going to be anything good. He's nothing special. But he went out there and nuked Emmett out viciously and destroyed him viciously, ruthlessly, and amazingly. Vallejos is at my number 4. At my number 3 spot, to me, this is one of the best mixed martial artists. If we were going to talk about striking, if we were going to talk about grappling, if we were going to talk about the best 2 people that mix in striking and grappling, you're either going to say Islam Makhachev or you're going to say Peter Yan, and that's at my number 3, Peter Yan. If you are a fight fan or you want to get into the sport, Peter Yan should be your go-to guy. He's a guy. He doesn't get a lot of KOs. But what you see from him is you get to see the imagination and the creativity in his strikes. I watched him. This is when I was getting into it. I immediately became a fan of Peter Yan because I watched him against Corey Sandhagen. That's one of my favorite fights of all time. He spinning back fisted. He's spinning back fisted Corey Sandhagen, then turned around and threw a hook off of the spinning back fist, landed and dropped Corey Sandhagen, and was close to getting a finish. He utilizes, and I always liked him because he used like a really tight guard. I always like the tight guard for some reason. That's why I like Ethan Ewing so much. I just like the really tight guard. He can use a tight guard. He can use a long guard. His kicks. I legitimately think if Peter Yan came into this sport or didn't come into the sport, or if he went to boxing, I think he would be a world champion in boxing. If he went to kickboxing, I think he would be a world champion in kickboxing. Not now, but if he didn't do MMA and he like stuck to one of those, he could be. I think even in wrestling, he could probably be he is that good. The only person I think that lays claim to maybe outstriking him is Sean O'Malley. Everybody else, he tunes up. What he did to Song Yadong, what he did to Davis and Figueiredo, what he did to Marcus McGee, what he did to Merab in the second fight. When that hand wasn't broken, he went out there and absolutely destroyed. That's probably one of my favorite fights, just because he fakes the hook here. He fakes the hook, throws a round body kick, boom, is landing clean on Merab. The high-level stuff that Peter Yan does. And when you hear people glaze Peter Yan, you're like, whoa. I don't know if I've ever seen anybody try to counteract the glaze of Peter Yan because it's that deserved. He is that fun to watch. He is that good. And he is literally like a Terminator. He will sit there for the first 2 rounds and just download data, and then he will come in the 3rd, 4th, and 5th round and start absolutely destroying you. And even now, that's not even a part of his game anymore. He starts fast, he starts efficient. Ever since that loss to Merab, the first loss, he starts every fight pretty quick now. He went out there, beat Song Yadong pretty convincingly, and Song Yadong's like a guy that is a tough out. If he's like to prove if you're a top 5 worthy or top 7 worthy or not. If you're not, you lose to Song Yadong. If you are top 7 worthy, you beat Song Yadong. And he beat Song Yadong. And the long guard, the guard that he uses, and not to mention he's also got some of the best cardio because he went cardio for cardio with Merab in that second fight. His takedowns, the judo throws. What is there not to like about Peter Yan? Like, I honestly could probably move Peter Yan up to my second. And there were times where I was a big Corey Sandhagen guy, and I'm like, Peter Yan didn't do that. And then I go back and watch Peter Yan. I'm like, why do I even say anything negative about this guy? Like, I was just saying, I was a Sandhagen guy, but it's like Peter Yan does everything that Sandhagen does and does it 10 times better. He does everything almost anybody else does and does it 10 times better. He is one of the best fighters of all time. He's not one of the best fighters of all time. He's one of the most fun fighters, and he's one of the, like, if we're talking that mixes the martial arts, I think he's the best that's ever done it. I think he's the best. Because Makhachev, I think, is a close number 2. You could argue being number 1. I wouldn't be upset with that. Yan with the judo throw, the Osotari trip that he does, the swings you down. I think it's the Osotari trip. Or Osogari. Maybe it's the Osotari. It's one of those two name-wise. I could move him up to the second spot. I freaking love Peter Yan. Watching that Merab fight, I was like, no wonder I've always liked this guy. No wonder. The Marcus McGee fight was, but he's like so technical. You have to have him 5 rounds. I feel like having him 3, just you don't get to see what he can do. You just don't get to see what he can do. He has to be like a 5-round fight. If you are trying to get into the UFC and you want somebody to watch, Peter Yan. Enough said. Prates, Peter Yan. Moving on to my number 2 list. This comes at a surprise because when I was a little bit younger, Israel Adesanya was my number 1 fan. Or I was an Israel Adesanya fan. And that is going to be Alex Pereira. I was an Israel Adesanya fan for the longest time when I was younger, as I stated. The fact that Poatan has made it to my number 2. But the finish to Yuri twice, head kicks, Who was in 2024? Who was doing that? The matrix that he went into in the Khalil fight, sliding, firing, the knees, the jabs, everything. He even did a little bit of that in the Blachowicz fight, but he did that, and then looking at what he has done, the Makhachev Kalaya fight, he lost to Cyril Gane, but he's still my number two. He's still my number two by far. I could interchange Peter Yan and Pereira as well. I'll keep Pereira at the number two. Hands of stone. He finds that left hook. He can find the right hand. He finishes everybody. He gets finishes. He's fun. He's exciting. But nobody quite does it. Like, I don't even really, for him, I don't feel like I have to explain anything. Because I feel like if you go watch him fight, you'll be like, oh, I'm a fan too. He's that fun. He's that fun and exciting. I see he gets a lot of hate. I don't know why. The calf kicks, the kicks upstairs, just the shot selection that he has with the knees, the punches, the flow state that he can get into. The Gane fight was it was kind of embarrassing, but my number one favorite fighter is going to be Ilia Topuria. No surprise here. Said it before. Ilia Topuria, the boxing combinations, the slickness, the manifestation, the mentality, the mindset, everything. I like Topuria is my favorite. If this was an all-time list, I'd have McGregor at my number 2 spot. But Topuria is just, he's on another, even that Gaethje fight. I'm going to go rewatch the Gaethje fight after this. Gaethje's gained my respect a ton after that performance, but even like the faking the uppercut to bring the hands up, boom, fires the left hook, fakes the uppercut, fires the left hook to the body. I did it twice there just for fun. The faking of the jab around the guard, right hand there, combination against Holloway. The baiting Oliveira to come in. He fires the jab, rocks him with the jab. He comes in, overextends, bang, bang. Right hand, left hook, drops him, puts him out. He was knocking out the best fighters. I still think that's a really good 3-fight win streak. I don't know if it's as good as Makhachev's. Makhachev beat those guys off of big win streaks, but my mindset is Topuria is my favorite. He just became my favorite. Watching him, being the only guy to knock out Holloway, being the only guy at 145 to beat Volk, being the only guy to really lay a flatline KO over Oliveira. And, he lost to Gaethje, and it was a bad performance, and it looked bad. It was a bad loss. I think he's going to come back, and I think he's going to be even better. I think being overconfident, overzealous, he's going to make a return, but it is the slickness of the boxing, the slickness of the striking, the high levelness where he fires the right hand. The combination that he threw on Volk, I'm trying to remember exactly. It was like jab, I think it was, closing my eyes to really visualize it. He threw like a right hand to the body, but he framed off of Volk. He went like this, fired the right hand, left hook right behind it. Left hook just grazed him, but the right hand off of that and then grazed him. High level. What he was throwing against Bryce Mitchell too. The uppercut, left hook, misses it, banks the right hand over the top. He is just, the slickness, everything else as well. It's just so freaking fun to watch. Like, who was celebrating at the time when he was beating Oliveira, and he celebrated after, before the fight? That was freaking insane. He did it in the Gaethje fight, and it aged terribly, but doing that in the Charles fight, then going out there and then knocking Charles out in the first round, was McGregor-esque. My eyes, if there's a fighter that's closest to McGregor, it is Topuria. Not in style, not in anything like that, in the manifestation, in the way that he was going about it. I'm gonna make it quick, Justin. I'm gonna make it quick. I know because if Islam escapes, you're gonna get punished, which it's unfortunately it aged terribly, but he would act like he was going to freaking murder you in the octagon. And the aura loss is going to not, he's not going to be as that cool aura wise, but I will always remember Prime Ilya Taporia. He's still in his prime, but like those 3 fights, even the Volk, even the Emmett fight, dude, like the high levelness that he has, even though he lost to Gaethje, I still think Gaethje loss is bad. But you know, he beat Pimlet, he beat Fiziev, he's beaten a lot of these younger fighters, I think, with IQ and experience. And I think Taporia is gonna get better. If he fights Paddy Pimlet, I think he could still beat Pimlet unless he shoots into a takedown like Benoit Saint Denis. Other than that, that's going to be my list. Honorable mentions, I have Volk, Charles, JDM. There's so many honorable mentions I could have because I like so many different fighters. But Volk and Charles are like my number 1 and 2. Volk, super fun to watch. Oliveira, when Oliveira was in his prime, dude, Oliveira probably would have been the top 5 favorite fighter. The Muay Thai, blitzing you forward, rocking you on the feet, then submitting you on the ground. Prime Charles was something to behold at that time, like that 2020 to 2022 rise of him. Like when he fought Dustin Poirier, pulling Poirier into the clinch, firing the knees, separating, uppercuts, right hands. Poirier's rocking him. And then Volk, I became a Volk fan after the Makhachev fight. I watched him fight Max. I was more of a Max fan. I was just still kind of getting my bearings into the sport. But Volk in that Makhachev fight, and then after, and then into the Yair fight. I mean, he is super high level, one of the best mixed martial artists of all time. My opinion, I think he's probably top 5. But that is going to be my list for you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll see you guys in the next one.